So over the years, the Pokemon Company sure has told their fair share of tall tales. Now, I'm not calling them a liar, but I'm certainly not calling them a truther. Nah, actually scratch that. They're liars. And I've taken the time to meticulously go through all of Pokemon media to discover their worst lies ever. And today, people, today, I'll be sharing those lies with you. But before we get started, I need you to use 10 million volt Thunderbolt on that like button. Alright, awesome. Let's get right into it. So I'm gonna rip the bandage off right away and discuss what may just be the biggest lie in Pokemon's history. So after the release of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, there was kind of a weird pause in the Pokemon franchise. There was a ton of speculating onto what the next games may be after there was a whole year of silence and no new games. Many were expecting Pokemon Z to complete a somewhat unfinished story in the Kalos region, but nope. Instead, Pokemon surprised us all and we jumped right into Gen 7 with the Sun and Moon games. Okay, I'm sure you're familiar with all this, but where's the lie? Well, the lie itself lies within the first announcement trailer. During it, Pokemon showed us clips from almost every previous game ever released, and the taglines for these new Sun and Moon games was, "It all comes together." This made us all believe that this was going to be the ultimate Pokemon games. We were going to be able to do things in these games that we were never able to do before. Things like traveling through every region really seemed like it could finally become a reality. Or we could even possibly catch every Pokemon ever. Because we were told it was all going to come together. Alright, well then fast forward to the release of the Alola games. And yeah, they were alright and pretty fun, besides those dang tutorials. But it certainly didn't all come together. In fact, I'd argue that the Alola games are the farthest things from bringing things together. That's because these entries were kind of a new spin on traditional games. You know, with the absence of gym leaders and a normal Pokemon League. And that's definitely not bad or anything, but like, what the heck was brought together? All they really did was tie up some loose ends left over from the Kalos games. In a pretty sloppy fashion, I might add. Alright, well, we might as well continue on about lies told to us about the games. Next, let's see one that really upsets me. This was incredibly frustrating to me. As someone that adored Pokemon Emerald's Battle Frontier as a child, this was like a punch in the gut. The worst part is that the game basically says a Battle Frontier is under construction. So I, like many others, figured it could be some DLC or something added later on. But nope. I know I, for one, wouldn't really have minded paying $20 or something for a full Battle Frontier experience. And I'm pretty sure I wasn't alone in thinking that. This also would have made that year-long break between ORAS and Sun and Moon a bit more bearable. Okay, and here's a funny lie from the Kalos games. Nothing major or anything, but it certainly doesn't look like there's a blackout behind you, bro. Wow, so Pokemon certainly told a lot of big fibs during Generation 6. Alright, well that's enough ragging on the games. Now, let's discuss the lies from the anime. Now, there was a ton of misinformation spread throughout the Advanced Generation anime. More specifically, the little bumpers in between commercial breaks known as Trainer's Choice. There's obviously the most notorious one when it says that Arbok evolves into Survivor.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon evolves into Survivor? Okay, trainers, if you chose Arbok, you were right.
Yeah, that's definitely not true. But there was actually a lot more errors. Let me just show you a few now.
Trainers, which Pokemon would last longest against a psychic attack? Okay, trainers, if you chose Teddiursa, you were right.
Teddiursa?
Bruh.
Now, okay. We can kind of take it easy on them here and chalk it up as a few translation errors. Plus, this is also kind of the era when the American Pokemon dubbing company was going through a major revamp. So, okay. These ones can kind of be forgiven. But one thing I cannot forgive is when the Pokemon anime dangles a golden carrot in front of our faces and just doesn't give it to us. And by this, I mean when we get false hope from the anime. Now, there's a few other things like the GS Ball or even Ash's dad. However, those aren't really lies as much as they are drop plot lines. No. What I'm talking about is much bigger. Lies from the openings. Let's begin with the Sinnoh League Victor's opening. So it begins with Paul vs. Ash, which yes, we obviously got in the real series, but it's the clip right after this. Infernape vs. Entei? Like what? Where was this? Why wasn't this in the actual anime? Now, because of this, there's reason to believe that this Entei could have possibly been Tobias's. This theory's backed up because the very next Pokemon revealed are Buizel and Darkrai. Ugh, this really upsets me. Yeah, obviously Ash went on to lose to Tobias, but I can't help but feel as if we were cheated out of a more exciting battle. And let's be honest, if Ash were to bring Infernape to this battle over Torkoal or Gible, he would have definitely been able to take down at least one more Pokemon. Then we could have gotten this epic battle. Infernape could have joined the ranks of Ash's Pokemon to have taken down a legendary. This occurrence wasn't the only one like this, unfortunately. In one of the Pokemon Journeys openings, we were teased of an epic Mega Lucario vs Gigantamax Charizard battle, obviously between Ash and Leon. This one doesn't hurt as much, though. Cause yeah, this would have been really cool to see. However, what we actually got instead was much, much cooler. But the worst of all these occurrences certainly take place in the Black and White anime. For an anime that was, come on guys, let's face it, probably the worst in the whole franchise, it definitely could have used a boost, and this certainly would have earned some brownie points from me. So let's check out what exactly I'm talking about. So this was a scene only shown in the Japanese opening of Best Wishes. It's a pretty solid build-up, but then as we reach the end of the opening, the gang sees a Reshiram emerge from the shadows. He launches a blast right at Ash, and then, the GOAT is here to save the day. Oh my god, Charizard's gonna battle Reshiram? Yes! Yes! What an epic battle this will be. Charizard was brought back for this very reason, to square off with powerful enemies. Right? He really did end up battling Reshiram, right? Nope. None of this happened. Really, really disappointing to me. This battle and arc as a whole could have definitely helped redeem the Black and White anime. But nope, Charizard didn't end up squaring off with the legendary beast, and he really didn't do much in his return to Ash's team. I'm not mad, Pokemon writers. I'm just disappointed. Now, the only other lie I will discuss here is another biggie. It was a lie straight up told to all of our faces. The head honchos at Game Freak said that they would not be bringing back every Pokemon for Sword and Shield. And yeah, obviously that was true. However, the lie comes from the defense of this statement. They said that they were unable to bring back every Pokemon because, instead for the Galar games, they were going to focus on creating high-quality animations. And yeah, that simply isn't true. Do any of these moves look high-quality to you? They honestly look like downgrades compared to moves we've seen in games like Battle Revolution. I mean, yeah, a few of these moves ended up looking pretty good, like the starter signature moves or Urshifu special attacks, but I don't really think that merits many iconic Pokemon being removed from an entire generation. In a few cases, many of these moves were downgrades compared to the previous games. Another really disappointing lie from Game Freak. However, I love this franchise, and when you're as big as they are, I understand that some things that you say might slip out, so I can't really hold a lot of this against the Pokemon Company. Well, except for that Charizard vs Reshiram thing. Kinda kidding. Well guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. This one was definitely more of a unique video. Now, I know I missed a few lies told by Pokemon, so be sure to comment below which lie made you the most mad over the years. And be sure to check out some of my other videos here on the screen. Thanks guys, and have a good one.